Hey Kerrie,
Hi Petra.
you designed these clarity cards.
Yes, I did.
And you had a very clear purpose in mind with the design of the clarity cards.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about the background of the reason you decided to design these.
Okay. Well, the reason I created Clarity was because I was seeking answers to where to head in my life, and I also had become very unwell, and I was seeking solutions to my health as well. So along my journey, I ended up being bedridden for about 4 months in 2016. It was incredibly difficult to walk. I was in a lot of pain. The doctors have no cure for what I have, and the drugs that they had given me just simply didn't work.
So they put you on quite a few drugs, didn't they?
Well, steroids was one of the worst ones. That when they gave me steroids, they said it would put on weight for 100% of people, and I was on steroids for 1 month, and I put on 10 kilos in that 1 month.
10 kilos in 1 month.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
yeah, that was huge.
What was the issue? Like, what was wrong with it?
Oh, I've got basically I've got an autoimmune disease, and I've been diabetic for a long time as well. So the two of them combined, they just disabled me really. I'd have someone come and pick me up once a week and drive me to the fruit shop, and I had a lot of apples because I couldn't close my hands to use a knife.
Wow.
It was a very difficult time.
Yeah, and because of the illness, you had to give up your property business, didn't you?
Yeah, well that's right. I was on the tools. Still got a shed full of tools, and I was very good at that property business, and I'd go in with my business partner and renovate, buy the property, renovate it, and then subdivide it, or do whatever we're going to do and then sell it. But it just got so painful I couldn't even stand to walk into the property, let alone get a jackhammer and get on the jackhammer and start pulling up tiles.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to work for about 2 years simply because of the illness that I had. And found that I was in crossroads and I had to do something different. And when I found the solution to my pain and the solution to my health and weight and all the other things, which is just simply releasing emotions, I thought, wow, everyone needs a bit of this, and why can't I be the one who gets it out into the world and help women in particular, because women are really hurting.
It's interesting because I like it when people summarize their stories, because they leave out all the juicy bits. And you say, oh, when I came up with the solution, and it wasn't that easy, was it? Because you went and you did something overseas.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because I find that really interesting.
Okay. Well, I did plant medicines in Peru, and I went over to Peru and I did a dieta, which is a very strict diet. I tried many plant medicines, including ayahuasca and wachumi, and that was probably one of the most challenging times of my life.
So ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca.
That's a plant, is it?
It's a plant medicine that's administered by a shaman in a maluka, and the experience normally goes for around 4 hours. And a lot of people in that maluka had wonderful experiences. Like one man had the whole universe, everything in the universe was shown to him at all at once. And he said, I just couldn't retain it. There was just so much. Can you imagine being given every answer to everything simultaneously? Like people saw unicorns and rainbows and...
Is that hallucinogenic?
It is an hallucinogenic.
And
what I found was that my body, I split into segments. My body was one segment, my mind another, ayahuasca was another, and my spirit was another. And all these segments could communicate with each other. And I got some wonderful answers, but...
didn't you land up vomiting?
Oh, every night. Every single time, no fail. And would you like to hear about the bucket? The vomit bucket?
I don't know. I feel like you want to tell the vomit bucket story.
Well, because it is a hallucinogenic and I did leave my body was more or less left to look after itself. Ayahuasca kept on saying to me, let go of the bucket, which is an analogy for let go of control. And I was there because as soon as I'd take the stuff, it smelled awful and it tasted awful. I would actually have the bucket up under my chin because it was pitch black, and I'd be ready to throw up in the bucket. And ayahuasca would say to me, "Aren't you ready to let that bucket go?" And
Ayahuasca is the shaman?
No, ayahuasca is spirit.
Oh, spirit.
Right. So she's a feminine spirit, and she'd say, "Aren't you ready to put the bucket down?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll put the bucket down, but I'm going to throw up in a minute." And she'd say, "Aren't you ready to put the bucket down?"
Evidently not, if I'm still holding it.
Anyway, I'd say, "Okay, I'm going to put the bucket down," and I'd put the bucket down, and I'd sit there and I'd feel my stomach just churning and churning. I'm going to be sick, I'm going to be sick. But I'd already been sick this night in the bucket already, and I put it down and just put it next to me. I knew where it was, and I said, "No, I'm going to throw it." And she's going, "Are you just going to leave the bucket there?" And I'm going, "No, I can't, I'm going to throw up." And I ended up picking the bucket up, and because it was pitch black, you couldn't see anything, and I thought I had it by the handle because it had a little, like a teacup handle on the side of it, but I'd actually had it by the rim. And when I picked the bucket up, I picked it up to throw in it, and I went like that, and I tipped the whole bucket of vomit all down me. And then I just sat there and laughed because it actually ran around the plastic thing I was sitting on and ran around my bum and that. But I was sitting, here's the analogy, I was sitting in my own vomit. I had created this. I had created all this around control, and the realisation that this is what I'd created in my life, and I was actually sitting in it, and that goes for my health and my relationships and everything. We are all creation. We create what we want and where we want to be. And I had created the vomit that I was sitting in, and that was the analogy for my health. So from there, my health just spiraled downhill at a massive rate.
Well, that's interesting, right? So you had this, so you did the medicine that the doctor gave you, and that had no effect.
Didn't work,
that was very negative, or had a negative impact on your body. And then you did the plant medicine stuff.
Yes.
And that equally made your health spiral down even more, even though you sat in your own vomit. you think the reward would be better health, right?
But it wasn't.
So it wasn't. So what was the next step from there?
Well, the next step was within 6 months I was in bed and I couldn't get out. And I believe ayahuasca was part of that. And I think without ayahuasca, I think it might have been like 5 years, not 5 months, where I actually crashed. And so I truly am grateful for my Peru experience, because not only did it clear a lot of the baggage that I'd carried into that Maluka, but it also allowed me to open and experience and find clarity and find exactly where I wanted to head in life, and that is helping women who are stuck, who are at crossroads, who are empty nesters, who are depressed, who aren't living the life that they want to do. I'm there to help them with clarity, I've got several clarity solutions, and it will, if you endorse clarity, it will get you to where you want to go. And every day I'm getting better, and every day I'm feeling better, and I'm truly happier than I've ever been in my whole life.
That's awesome. And so this is not just based on your experience. I know that you said that you based it on something called the Sedona method.
That's correct, yes.
Tell us a little bit more about the Sedona method.
Okay, well, I had the clarity cards, like they will read your future and they will answer your questions, and that's all something that I created, with the box and the style and the cards and that. But there was a missing piece, and I sat on clarity for 2 years waiting for the missing piece to become present, and it became present as the Sedona method. And the Sedona method is a very fast look. It takes only a couple of minutes to clear, emotional blocks that are stopping you, get to where you want. And so I wrote to the Sedona people because they are just, front runners in this emotional clearing. NLP, hypnosis, it's all too slow. It's all, it really is. It's the old way of doing things. This method is quick, it's fast, it's, you know, you can release it in a couple of minutes, and the reason you can is because it's connecting you straight to your subconscious. Your mind isn't doing, you're not doing visualization, you're actually being connected, but you are conscious while you're being connected. So you're not doing anything. And once you feel that feeling, your subconscious just lets it go, and it can happen in a minute. It really can be that quick.
So do you immerse yourself in the feeling?
No.
And then release it?
No, it's just a very simple technique. Is what's the situation that you're upset about? Where do you feel that in your body? And would you like to let that go? And that's the principle of the Sedona method. They've got 5 different releasing techniques, which are all equally as simple. And it's just a matter of, you're not your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. They're things that you have actually created, so they're not part of you. So because you created them, you can as easily uncreate them. And the Sedona method allows you to do that, and fast. Like, it is the fastest technique. I've done so many techniques over the years, and truly it's as fast as it gets.
And that's really helped you with your health and everything. That's been the one method that's really worked for you.
Well, here I am, I'm sitting here, I'm still in pain, Petra. It may not look like I'm in pain, but I still am in pain, and I don't call it pain anymore. I call it sensations, because all pain is sensations that aren't even in your body. They're outside of your body. And so I've got my mind and my consciousness, so I don't feel the pain. But if I focus on the pain, I do, or I focus on the sensations, I do, but I choose not to, because I've got a message to get out. I've got the clarity and the clarity club. I'm really woman on a mission, and I will be, out there around the world promoting clarity and helping other women to get to where they want to go.
And so what have you, and that's fantastic. So what will clarity, because clarity helps each person who's using it tap into their own subconscious mind and release the answers that they have within them.
Yes.
Because we are taught that the answers come externally. We keep asking for advice. We go to psychics and whatever our method is of getting answers, we're always looking externally. And yet clarity is a tool that you can use to find the answers internally and to release anything that's stopping you from finding the answers that you need.
And that's it. That's exactly right. If you release any of your blocks, what happens is it opens the door to abundance. So you'll find opportunities come in because you've opened to abundance. Where at the moment, if you're closed like this, and you're not open, and you're just stuck, and you're sitting in your own mess, and you're depressed and in pain, and
sitting in your own vomit.
In your own vomit, like I was. If you're like that, then how can you let anything in?
Yeah.
That all you have to do is just open to the abundance that you are, and the creation that you are, and just opportunities will come to you. And ever since I got out of my own vomit, opportunities have just come, one after the other.
Yeah, I love that, and I know that the way you've set it up is relevant for each of our sort of parts of our lives. We have business, we have wealth, we have relationships, and we have fun, spirituality. What was the 6th one? Emotional and spiritual.
Yes.
Somewhere along those lines. How did you come up with those 6 sections? Because they covered...
every section of life, and that's what I wanted it to do. I wanted it, if you were struggling with, say, a relationship, you just pull a relationship card out, pull out, 5 more cards, and the answer is there. Yeah. It is just there.
And the beautiful thing, I think, what also comes across for me is that, you say this is a journey for you, and so, you're getting better and better and better the more you can release and the more you use clarity. So I just want to reiterate that it's not a one-time thing. No. Life is not a one-time thing. You keep moving and then things come up and then you look for the answers again and you use clarity to find the answers within. And so that's how it continues. It's not that false promise of all the answers. The universe is not going to come to you. You're not going to be on some hallucinogenic. This is a tool that you can use regularly for whatever comes up. Is that right?
Well, what I find, Petra, is I will do maybe a release on, I don't know, just something simple in my life, something in business. Oh, what should I do in business next, right? And I'll be given the answer to that. But while I'm being given the answer, I might have a flash of something that happened in my childhood. My dad was a businessman and he had, tough times in business, just like all businesses do sooner or later. And I'll have something flash around that business and it might be fear. And so then I'll do a release on fear. And then there might be something that comes under fear. So you could have just one release on, which it will make you feel better instantly. It will. But you have that one release, but if you want to release it totally, you have to go through the layers until you get where there are no layers.
Yeah, exactly. And then the layers build up again as you go through life,
and then something else happens.
Of
but what you find is you're not reactive to life like you were before.
Yeah, beautiful.
So and that really is it's just amazing. I up until about 18 months ago, I had so much abuse in my life. And I did and I've been releasing on abuse, and I finally did this great big release on abuse, and since then it's not been in my life.
Wow, that's amazing, right?
And that alone has been such a relief.
I think you are a true testament to clarity, because you said you were crippled with pain.
Yes.
And you were hardly moving.
Yes.
And now you're up and you're moving, and I know I've seen you a few times over the last few weeks, and I would never say that you were experiencing intense pain. You're always happy, and it's really you are a real true testament to your product. And it's so exciting that you've brought this out to help women out there, because I know that especially women who sort of reach 45 upwards.